Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel. I'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. You can log on at www.town.barnstable.ma.us. The first in a series of communication meetings on the much-anticipated reconstruction of the Barnstable Harbor bulkhead was the focus of a stakeholders meeting. A large contingent of town personnel were on hand. Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch first gave a history of project funding.
I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, and I really want to thank you for assisting in the arduous journey that we took to get the funding for this project. Councilor Kennedy and the Friends of Barnstable, Ted Theodoris and Peter Jason, were with us all the way as we took about a year and a half of going up to Washington, bringing people, from Washington and Boston down here to help us look for the funding, to applying for 5 or 6 different grants, to having tremendous support from our congressional delegation and our state delegation, because it was eventually the governor who, despite our efforts to try to get stimulus money, really went into an old environmental bond issue, pulled out the $3.75 million that we needed for the project, 75% of the project, and then through Councilor Kennedy and the town manager, we're able to get the other 25%. The emails you sent, the calls you made, they made a difference. And when people think that citizens don't have an impact on the process, we know that, for instance, Senator Kerry was down in Washington. There was a meeting that the governor was at, and he could have asked about any project that the senator might have been interested in, but he turned to the governor and said, "Are you going to be able to take care of my friends in Barnstable Harbor?" And so it was very high on his agenda. The governor said yes. We knew at that point in time there'd be money somewhere along the line. So we finally got the award. We had the wonderful presentation over in back in December. We're all happy about that. But now we've gone through the process of bidding out the project. Mark Ells will tell you about the CRC company that was selected, and Roger Parsons is here to answer any specific detailed questions you might have.
He then went on to discuss the myriad of town communications.
As Joanne mentioned, we're going to set up a website so you can keep track of minutes. The reason we're taping it is we're told that there are a lot of snowbirds or people around that might want to access this off of our website. So we do have that capability to do that, and that's why we're taping this meeting. The ongoing meetings are something that we want to continue on a weekly basis. John, and asking Mark and I to communicate, weekly. We've already set up meetings with Councilor Kennedy and Ted and Peter, and they've been in several times to talk about the contractor, to talk about that process. We want to do something in the village each week, and we're coordinating that to follow the folks that are directly involved with the project. We're thinking it might be a Friday morning because that'll be the weekly contractors meeting where they plan for what's happening next week. We would have a village meeting right after that meeting where folks could come in. If you had, again, questions that you're asking, you could get them to us and we could certainly address them. So we want the communication to be free-flowing because we know this is a busy harbor with a lot of interest, with a lot of activities that go on down there.
Now, Public Works Director Mark Ells discusses the details of the construction project.
The low bidder was, we went through very thoroughly their reference checks. They're doing work on Cape Cod and the islands. They've done work all over the region. And so we were able to move forward, award that bid, issue the notice to proceed. So we're formally going forward with the construction project. And what's involved in that from a time frame is a 270-day construction window, basically, consecutive day construction window. So we're looking at going from now until the end of November with this project. The way that it'll occur is we're initiating it at this point. We're signing contracts. You'll probably start to see some fencing go out around the site. And I think you're all aware of where the bulkhead is, but we're talking about the steel and wooden bulkheads along the east and southerly side of the bulkhead area in the harbor. And to give you a feeling, right now the contractor is putting together their schedule, but we've already had a preliminary meeting on the schedule. They expect to be out there shortly, starting to prep the site, and then between April and late summer, they'll be doing the removal of the old bulkhead and the installation of the metal sheets that are going to be going in there to create the new bulkhead. After that, they'll follow with backfilling, installation of drainage improvements, and then ultimately in the later seasons, October and November, they'll start to decommission and they'll start to bring everything down, clean up, and expect to be out of there shortly after Thanksgiving. So that's the project schedule. That's about the sequencing as we understand it right now that will occur out there as far as construction goes. We don't expect to have any permanent road closures. I've had a lot of people ask me, are you going to close Millway? No, we don't expect that. We will have interruptions. We do have drainage along the road. We will have loads of steel coming in on tractor trailers from time to time. So we'll be coordinating closely. Tom and I, again, are available. We're going to have weekly meetings. We're going to post where we are in progress on the project. We'll be able to project what might be occurring in the next week. We certainly know about the 4th of July parade, and we're going to put that right on the contractor's schedule to make sure that that's not an issue for us from the 3rd to the 5th. We'll try to keep that window open. They're planning on working Monday through Friday at the site from 7 to 7. So they won't be in there on the weekends. Basically, the shaded area is the construction envelope that we expect them to be working within. They'll be on the land side with a crane doing the work. They won't be on the water side with a crane. They will have a couple of small boats, I think, and some sort of a small barge, probably on the water side as they construct, but they're going to do all the work from the upland side. Okay?
Dan Horn presents the scope of limited marina use for the upcoming 2010 season.
The plan that Eric and I, again, that we worked on, I'll just go through it a little bit, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about it. Eric has some particulars about what slips, and if you have a particular concern about your slip, you'll be able to ask. He has the numbers and things like that. But what we're planning to do right now is realizing that the east side slips are really off limits for the duration of the project. We're left with 22 slips or so on the west side, and that's what we have to work with. What we plan to do is offer those people in those slips the opportunity to renew with us. The people that are currently on the west side. I believe we have about 4 vacancies. After we do that, and what we're proposing to do is offer that first to the commercial charter fishing folks. We have, I believe, 4 boats, and we will be able to handle that. Secondly, if there's, for some reason, still a vacancy, we would look to other commercial users that are existing stakeholders. We have some that do some commercial shell fishing and aquaculture. And lastly, to those on the east side, if there's still any vacancies, we would offer that up probably through a lottery if there's anything. But I don't expect at that point, to be honest with you.
Just one meeting remaining. The Town Council meets tonight at 7 o'clock in the Town Hall hearing room. Well, that's all the time we have for now. I'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.